A security alarm blared through the empty corridors of the Riverside Wildlife Medical Center at 5:17 a.m. Dr. Maya Patel, already on her way to the clinic for an emergency surgery on a juvenile giraffe, received the alert on her phone. She'd been working at this center on the outskirts of the Limpopo Wildlife Reserve in South Africa for 6 years. Having left a prestigious position at Chicago's Lincoln Park Zoo, Dr. Patel, "You need to get here now," said James, the night security guard, his voice tense. "There's a situation at the main entrance." "What kind of situation?" "I'm 5 minutes away." I can't explain over the phone. Just hurry." The line went dead. Maya pressed harder on her Jeep's accelerator, her mind racing through possibilities. A break-in? Poachers? The clinic treated everything from injured field mice to elephants. But they also stored medications that fetched high prices on the black market. Pulling into the staff parking lot, she saw James standing just inside the glass entrance doors, his body unnaturally still, his hand hovering over the tranquilizer gun all security personnel carried but rarely used. Then she saw what had triggered the alarm. Standing motionless outside the automatic doors was an adult male lion. His massive mane caught the early morning light, golden brown against the clinic's sterile white walls. But what made Maya's breath catch wasn't just the lion's presence. It was what lay beside him. A lion cub, maybe 4 months old, was sprawled on the ground, its small body unnaturally still except for the labored rise and fall of its rib cage. Blood matted the fur around its right front paw. Maya slowly exited her vehicle, moving with deliberate calm. Her mind processed the impossibility of the scene. Lions don't seek human help. They don't bring their injured young to clinics. This defied everything she knew about wild animal behavior. "James," she whispered into her phone, "call Dr. Wambeki and the emergency response team. Now." "Already did. They're 7 minutes out. What do we do?" Quote. Maya couldn't take her eyes off the scene. The adult lion, likely the cub's father based on his protective stance, was watching her, not with aggression, but with what she could only describe as desperate intensity. When their eyes met, the lion made a low rumbling sound, looked down at the cub, then back at her. 15 years of veterinary training screamed that this was dangerous, impossible, that wild predators don't reason this way. But something deeper, something beyond scientific training, told her this was exactly what it appeared to be. A father bringing his child for help. "Open the outer doors," she told James, her voice steadier than she felt. "Are you insane? That's a full-grown male lion. The cub is dying. Open the outer doors only. Keep the inner doors locked. Do it now." After a moment's hesitation, James pressed the button. The automatic doors slid open with a soft hiss. The lion's ears twitched at the sound, but he didn't move. Maya slowly, very slowly, took 3 steps closer, stopping about 30 feet from the entrance. The lion watched her approach, then did something that would forever change her understanding of animal behavior. He nudged the cub gently toward the open door, then backed away several paces, his eyes still fixed on Maya. "He wants us to help the cub," Maya whispered, barely believing the words as she spoke them. "That's not possible," James replied through the phone. "Wild animals don't think like that." But the lion backed away further, maintaining eye contact with Maya while creating distance between himself and his cub, giving them space to approach. When Dr. Wambeki arrived with the emergency response team 3 minutes later, he found Maya kneeling just inside the outer doors, examining the injured cub while the father lion watched from 20 yards away. "Have you completely lost your mind?" Wambeki hissed, tranquilizer rifle ready as the team created a protective semicircle around her. "Look at him," Maya said without taking her eyes off the cub. "Really look at him. He's not threatening. He brought his cub here. The paw has a deep puncture wound. Likely from a snare. It's infected. The cub is severely dehydrated and feverish. Wambeki glanced between Maya and the lion, his expression shifting from disbelief to cautious wonder. That's not possible. And yet, here we are, she replied, carefully lifting the unconscious cub. I need to get this little one into surgery now. Keep an eye on the father. If he charges, tranquilize him, but only if absolutely necessary. As Maya carried the cub through the inner doors into the clinic, the father lion let out a low, mournful sound that seemed to vibrate through the morning air. It wasn't aggressive. It was the sound of worry, of helplessness in the face of a child's suffering. A sound that transcended species. Inside, the clinic burst into controlled chaos as the emergency team prepped for surgery. Word spread quickly, and staff arriving for the morning shift were met with an unprecedented situation. A critically injured lion cub and its father waiting outside. How did it even find us? Asked Lisa, a young intern, as she helped Maya start an IV line into the cub's leg. The reserve's main road runs past our entrance, Maya explained, working quickly to stabilize the cub. Lions often follow roads as easy paths through the bush. He might have been carrying the cub, looking for help, and seen our lights, smelled the other animals we're treating. But to trust humans? That goes against everything we know about wild lion behavior. Maya glanced up at the monitor displaying the cub's vitals. Dangerously weak, but still fighting. Sometimes desperation overrides instinct, she said. Parents will do anything to save their children, even if it means trusting their natural enemies. The surgery revealed what Maya had suspected. The cub had been caught in a poacher's wire snare. The wound had become infected. The thin leg nearly severed. For 2 hours, Maya worked to clean the wound, remove damaged tissue, repair blood vessels, and stabilize the young lion. Throughout it all, staff members took turns monitoring the father, who remained in exactly the same spot, watching the clinic entrance with unwavering attention. News cameras arrived as word spread about the extraordinary event. Local officials struggled to keep curious onlookers at a safe distance. Wildlife conservationists arrived to document what many were already calling a miracle. Wild animal behavior that defied explanation. By mid-morning, Maya emerged from surgery, exhausted but cautiously optimistic. The cub had survived, though the next 24 hours would be critical. How's our patient? Asked Wambeki, who had taken charge of monitoring the father lion. Stable for now. We've cleared the infection, repaired what we could of the damaged tissue. He's on powerful antibiotics and pain management. Has the father moved at all? Quote, not an inch. He's just waiting. It's extraordinary. Maya walked to the observation window and looked out at the massive lion. Still maintaining his vigil, their eyes met across the distance. And Maya felt something she couldn't quite explain. A connection. An understanding. I need to let him know, she said suddenly. Let him know what? Asked Wambeki. That his cub is alive. That we're helping. Before anyone could stop her, Maya walked to the outer doors. Behind her, she heard Wambeki instructing the response team to be ready with tranquilizers. But she knew, somehow she knew, they wouldn't be necessary. She stood in the doorway, separated from the lion by 30 yards of open space. Slowly, deliberately, she knelt down to appear less threatening. The lion's eyes never left her face. Your baby is going to be okay, she said softly, knowing he couldn't understand her words but hoping he might sense her intention. We're going to help him. The lion blinked slowly, then did something that caused gasps from everyone watching. He lowered his massive body to the ground, lying down with his head on his paws, his eyes still fixed on Maya. It was a posture of waiting, of trusting. so utterly contrary to wild predator behavior that even Maya struggled to believe what she was seeing. As the sun climbed higher, casting long shadows across the clinic grounds, word continued to spread. What had begun as a routine day had transformed into something that would challenge scientific understanding and touch hearts around the world. A wild lion had sought human help for his dying cub, and now he waited patiently, placing his trust in the very species that had caused his child's suffering.